Hey everybody, Ron Burke, editor-in-chief for GamingTrend.com, and very confused. This would be the Omni One treadmill that the delivery company just unceremoniously dropped on my doorstep without a signature or any thought as to whether or not this is a good place to put it. So we're gonna unbox it here, I suppose. Let's get to it. So it should free this up. I gotta say, XPO, not a great job with the delivery, but everything does look safe, which I guess is good, but it does have a nice little spot here for a signature that has no signature. But I'm gonna grab some help, get this inside, because that's not gonna work. Guess we do this the old-fashioned way. No doubt, brute force.
A few inches later.
That's one box up the stairs, but I don't see how I'm gonna do this by myself. So I'm gonna call in some friends and get this upstairs.
12 seconds later.
Boom. But you can see that big parabolic dish. That's gonna be the key to that unlimited movement. That and the little slip shoes should give you every bit of the motion that you need to run around in VR. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I love VR. I cannot get enough of VR. It is my escape, especially flight VR. But I do love me some shooters, and there's just something visceral and different about doing it in the virtual space that you just can't beat. Whether you're hunting zombies or hunting down your friends, it's a lot of fun. So underneath this, what this is actually strapped to is a giant piece of wood. There's a piece of wood underneath, cardboard, to keep all this square, retain the shape, and also make sure that this does not move inside the box and tear through the box. So now I should be able to lift this. So there you go, it's out of the box. Now one of the things to note is that you have these two bars over here, and then on the other side you have this control arm with that Canon plug interface. And underneath those, thankfully, is a pair of wheels. Now you saw how difficult this was to manipulate earlier, but check this out. One-handed, on the wheels, piece of cake. So with everything out of the box, it's time to bring in the second box and get that unboxed. A lot of unboxing. Now, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this project, every review that I've seen has been, well, a couple of months ago for one, but also in a very clinical office space, right? They're always somebody's weird office space inside of, you know, CNET headquarters or whatever. I haven't seen any that are inside somebody's house. Just normal people that enjoy simming or enjoy VR and have the space for something like this, or have the desire to fit it into their space and make it work. So that's what I'm doing. So we've got two pairs of Omni shoes. These are the overshoes. These are the shoes that'll go over your shoes when you're running on this, and they create that kind of slippery surface for the device. You can't run on them with normal shoes. That's just not gonna work. You'll stick. It kind of defeats the purpose. You're kind of slipping in space, if you will. Also in here, we also have the Omni One foot trackers. So it has to keep track of where your feet are for this to work. We have some cleaning essentials. Ultimately, I imagine that these are gonna kind of scuff the surface. This is gonna give me something to clean them. They're kind enough to include a screwdriver. I brought my drill set, but we'll put this on with a regular screwdriver. Last thing I would want to do is strip anything. The last piece to come out is going to be the arm that holds you in place. So this arm is what's going to hold you in position when you're running in place. The whole idea with this system is that you're not really running on, you know, an omnidirectional treadmill like you see in Ready Player One or something like that. You're instead kind of slipping in space, and this arm is meant to hold you in space while you do that. That's why there's a weight limit on this thing. You know, it can only hold so much. I believe it's 255 pounds. And then there is a height limit. I don't remember what that is, but I mean, I'm not Tom Cruise short. I'm 5'9", so this should work anyway, but we're gonna go ahead and set that inside here. And there is, I think, some electronics here, some cabling, and, okay, the owner's manual. So that's probably important. I've never set this up before, so I wanna make sure I get it right. Remove. So we will remove that, whatever that is. It has been removed. All right, and this is the second half of that system. This is gonna be power cable. This arm piece here. I'm not quite sure what this is. It is firmly wedged in here though. There we go. I think this goes right in the front. Those arms that I use to lift. Yeah, it's gonna clip this on the front. You can see it says Omni there. So we're gonna set this to the side for a moment. And I do see there's some leveling feet just to make sure that this is level. There's the other piece I was looking for. Ultimately, to make this work, you have to kind of lock yourself in it. And to do that, you need this vest. This vest is gonna provide this spine, and the arm is gonna provide the stability. So between the two of them, you have what's gonna hold you in place. That's gonna sit on your lower back. This is gonna sit on your head. And just like so, you have a harness system with a nice stiff spine to keep you in place. Here's the USB interface, the USB-A, another USB-A port, and here's a dongle that I imagine we're gonna plug into our PC or perhaps into that. That's what the instructions are for, folks. That concludes the unboxing. Now let's get to assembly. The first thing that it wants me to do is attach that front plate, the one that said Omni on it. So we're gonna do exactly that. That's gonna be these square posts you see here, connecting to the square post we saw at the bottom. There's a peg system, so they're simply gonna slide on there. You can push them over the pegs. Done. Next, it wants me to assemble the base, which is to say adjust the height of the rubber feet that are located underneath the base and the step until all rubber feet are firmly touching the floor. Disassemble the safety bolt with the screwdriver. Let's not forget that we live in an electronic world. I can simply use my app to make sure that this is level. Maybe I am that good. If it's off by a tiny, tiny amount. Not worth worrying about. Now we're gonna remove the safety bolt. Inserting the arm. While resting the arm on your knee, pull the cable out and connect it to the circular connector on the arm hub. So that's gonna be this connector here. So let's go ahead and get that together. Tighten the knurled fitting to secure the cable. We're looking for the cable that's inside the arm. It says on your knee, but I'm gonna have to see if I can just show you this real quick. Inside here is the cable that it's referring to. You can see that that's kind of a Canon plug with a screw on it. It's got a white notch there, so you can make sure that you're getting it in the right spot. I want to be very careful that I don't scratch the surface. That would be bad, I would think, in the overall good bad thing. So let's head over on this side, and we're going to pull that cable out and find that white part. Get it in the Canon plug, thread it down. It's pretty easy. Lift this in place and set it down. We're going to lock it in place with this latch, and then that should do it. It is in place. That was actually very easy. I like it when companies put some thought into the usability of the device and how difficult it might be to assemble for one person. And as you can see, it's pretty easy. The next thing I want us to do is attach the harness. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that harness. And it says that it attaches, disassemble the safety bolt with the screwdriver. So that's gonna be here. We're gonna disassemble that bolt in here, that right there. That's fully out. Next, insert the vest fully into the locking mechanism of the arm. Ensure that the red label is no longer visible. So it says insert fully. What it means by that. Now we're going to insert this latch just like so. And it should go down completely, which you can see, not quite. I've still got some red there, so there we go. We hear that latch. That's how you know that it is fully locked. Obviously, since this is holding your entire body weight, you really want this to be secure. So this latch here is the one that latched. Now it's fully locked. Now it wants me to take that bolt and thread it in here. That safety bolt is going to make sure that this thing cannot unlatch. Just an extra little measure of safety. Ensure nobody falls out of this thing. It's smart of them, but that no longer moves. Even unlatched, that does not come out. So it might click open, but this does not slide out. It prevents any movement whatsoever. So that is a solid system. Even if it allows this to move, don't be concerned. Now it says to take this cable. I went ahead and took the twisty tie off. I'm pretty sure you know how to figure that part out. But it wants you to route it up the back here. There are some little rubber clips here. They'll go like that, and then into the front. The next thing you've got to do is take those two clips that I showed you earlier, and we're going to take these clips and put them on the belt portion here. So these simply slip over like so. Remember it says up on those, so you want to make sure that you get them in the right spot. They're going to slip over here, so that way you can route cables. Oh, just did it upside down. See, it says up. Pay attention. Simply slide in place, so that way when this is buckled, you have a spot for cables and also a holster for your controllers right there and there. Next, we're going to take that Canon plug that you can see here. We're going to plug that into the rear of the device. The other side uses a standard power plug. So if you need a longer plug, you can certainly just order that, and then we'll plug that into standard 110. On the right bottom here, you can see there's an LED. When we plug in power, we should see that come to life. We might even hear the device start up. There we go. That thud sound is a good sound. And now we are powering up. Next on the list is the foot trackers. These little guys are going to sit on the boots and allow the device to track them. These are not very big. The prototypes on these were really big, so it's nice to see these are miniaturized. You can see they're also charged with USB-C, so this is going to be another one of those goodies that you kind of throw into a hub, charge them all at once, just like you do with the rest of your headset, really, and keep everything ready to go. Also in the box, conveniently, charger and a cable with 2 ends, so very handy. The next thing we're going to do is pair up the foot trackers. They're currently off, but you'll see here there's a red switch. Flip it to green. Flip this to green. We're going to go down here to the bottom. We're going to hit the pair button. You'll see it's now rapidly flashing on the bottom of the foot trackers. Hold this in for a second. You'll see it's rapidly flashing. Do the same thing on this side. Now both are solid. Both are ready to go. Just that easy. What you see now, this slow flashing green, means that the Omni One is on, but it's not connected to a headset or a PC. If it were flashing fast, that means it's in pairing mode and looking for the trackers. If it was steady, that means it's on and connected to a PC. And if it is fast and then slow, that means that it's on, but there's a firmware update in progress and you shouldn't turn it off. If it's flashing red, well, an error has happened and you probably should reach out for some help. Before we play, we need to adjust for height. I'm not 4'4", so that's not going to work. Instead, we need to raise the arm. And you can see this is incredibly easy to do by simply lifting it. I can adjust it for my height. Now that's all the way up to 5'10", so I'm going to lower it just slightly and lock it in. Just like the other one, there's a cam nut on the other side. You're going to want to screw that in so there's a bit of tension, and it's nice and tight. That's not going anywhere. The next adjustment we need to make is for the support level. Now, this will support you a little or a lot, or anything in between. And that's really where the support dial right here comes in. So there's a number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. And you need to decide, probably by playing it some, how much support this is going to give you. That's going to be this arm right here that gives you the up and down support. If you find yourself kneeling, but you're struggling maybe with your knees, maybe you need a little bit more support. But generally speaking, level 1 is going to be for people that are less than 150 pounds. Level 2 is for people that are 150 to 180. Level 3 is 180 to 210. And level 4 is 210 and heavier. Thankfully, I'm happy to say I'm in level 3. Next item is actually this cable here. And this has the little USB-A slot on it. And what this is, with the extremely long cable, this is going to connect to my PC. And I'm going to use this to allow my PC to remotely connect to the Omni One. One of the best parts about the Omni One is that it seamlessly works with MetaQuest. It might have started with about 50 games when it first released, but now it supports a solid chunk of the Made for Meta ecosystem. That's games like Star Trek Infection, Veil, Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2, Into the Radius, Sniper Elite VR, Zero Caliber 1 and 2, Exoshock, and upcoming support for others like Dungeons of Eternity, Medieval Dynasty, and a lot more. Now obviously we don't want to step on this with regular shoes. That's not going to work and it might damage the device. So as I mentioned, these came with a set of overshoes. They come with large or medium, or I think there's a setup where you can get both. So we're going to open up the larges. As I said, this is kind of where the magic happens. Wow, these are really big. So large might be too large for my feet anyway. But right here is where those connections are going to be made with the trackers. And then your foot literally slips in this and then it straps closed. Again, early versions of this did not have a lot of adjustability, and these look like they're pretty adjustable. So let's throw this on my foot and see what happens. So the last thing they want you to do is slip when you're not on the Omni. They want you to be able to slip while you're on there. So This is all kind of a slippery material here, but this is not. This is very much a rubberized material that's going to stick. The idea is ready to play, ready to walk around. So you don't have to feel like you're going to slip and fall. The little magnets here hold it in place, but that's slick now. So you have this nice slippery surface the whole way down. And then this is if you need to get out of the VR headset for something, go use the restroom, whatever, you now have a slippery surface and you don't have to take these off. Now that I've got the devices on my boots, I'm gonna grab my Quest headset. I'm using a Quest 3. I've already loaded up the software OmniConnect. You'll see that pop up here in a minute as I show you what I'm doing, but this does not require a PC. It's just if you want to play PC VR games, which we are definitely going to do. There are plenty of games like Skyrim VR and stuff that we could be playing, so we'll definitely be doing that. But we're going to start off with just the connection and then what's called Omni First Steps. And that's really just like the First Steps app that you probably used the first day that you used your VR headset. It's going to be very similar to that. All right, we're recording and I have this video here that we're supposed to watch to show you how to set up the Omni. Let's go ahead and watch that together.
Plug the power cable into the power inlet.
We did that already.
With Bluetooth and...
Okay, our Bluetooth is enabled. I think I'm gonna step up here for the first time, nervously. Oh yeah, that is very slick. That is very, very slick. We're gonna get inside this setup here. Tentatively, you know, you're kind of putting your entire safety on something like this. It's kind of unusual. We're buckled in here. Look at that. There we go. All right. Oh, that's wild though. Feeling that move. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh my God, I am so excited. I'm like a kid on Christmas. I did mention we're going to do the first steps first, because I think that's a good idea. That's going to teach me how to use the device, and I think that that's important. All right, boundary setup. Let's do that. So we're going to open the quick controls. We're going to set the boundary, adjust, switch to stationary, choose your own. Stationary with the floor. Okay, it's a little too low. So we're going to move the thumbstick. There we go. Slightly there, right there. That's the floor. All right. Confirm. We're going to back up so this is kind of centered. That looks right to me. Boundary set. Okay, we're going to jump back over here to the video.
To unlock Omni One's arm, after you have secured the vest, lean back slightly until you hear a click from the upper part of the arm.
Yep, we've done that.
Hold the shoulder button until you hear a click from the lower part of the arm.
Okay. All right, as you can see now, we can rotate in 360 degrees and we can crouch. So we are fully wired in, folks. All right, so as you can see over here on the left, everything says we're good on the Omni. The trackers are still showing plenty of juice. Omni One shows that it is connected to the treadmill, and obviously we are already released. We're gonna jump into first steps. I truly do love VR. It's been the biggest breakthrough, I think, for me in terms of just overall immersion. Being able to go places and truly immerse yourself and experience them in ways that, frankly, are beyond our imagination. I'm gonna lean forward, and you can see I'm still kind of getting the hang of it, but you can see that it's actually not that difficult. To start, we're gonna go a little faster than walk. Hell yeah. Yeah, I haven't quite gotten the hang of strafe yet, or walk backwards. So now we're gonna jump into the games that are built into the Omni One. We're gonna walk over here and do some target practice. Let's go do some archery. There we go.
Great job. Keep shooting or press the button.
Oh, so close. I'll take it. Archery challenge complete. All right, off to Paris. Okay, I'm ready for Resident Evil Requiem in VR. Let's do it. with the treadmill. With the Omni One, that'd be amazing. I am the ruiner of fun. Wait, am I gonna go over and ruin everybody's fun? Is that my objective? I am here to ruin your fun, you weird PlayStation 2 people. Feed the pigeons. Let's go feed the pigeons.
Now toss the bread on the ground to feed the pigeons.
There you go, roof chickens. This lone pigeon over here. There you go. For you. And the last one is chasm. This one weirds people out, especially if you have a fear of heights. Motion sickness risk. Ooh. Don't look down, she says. All right, that actually completes all of the stages. That's what I said. I get why people say this might be the Peloton of VR. After 10 minutes, that's a workout, man. One of the things that I really appreciate about the synergy that the Virtuix Omni team has put together with the MetaQuest team is the simplicity of it. I've been playing VR, PC VR for a very long time, and let's just be honest, it's janky. There's a lot of work in getting most VR games to run, and especially when you start adding peripherals, it gets even more complicated. But I'm gonna show you exactly how simple it is here. I look at OmniConnect, I see Alicia is over here. I install it, I click start. That's it. That's the end of all the preparation that's needed. I'm gonna go ahead and let it use my microphone. Usual stuff, but that's it. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and find nearby devices. And that's it. It's dropped me into the game. I'm done. This is early access, so don't expect this to be perfect. That's not really the point. I'm trying to show more the interaction with the Omni One and the simplicity of just how easy it is to get in the game. It was really that simple. I'm already in the game. Character name already exists. Buddy, I disagree. I doubt that's the case. You!
An NPC's dialogue opens at a jingle.
You. I can't believe it either. Ah, there's Grok, the melee trainer. What up, my Grok?
Hello there.
Ah,
Let me help you sharpen your edge.
sure thing. Let's slay some dummies. Let's go kill a dummy. Nope. Die, dummy. All right. Well, that's enough fiddling with that. I think you get to the point. The whole idea here is that the simplicity at which you can launch things is single click. Everything works as you'd expect. You kind of jump into the game, and then it's kind of up to the game as to how good it is. But just the same, if it's on this list over here, it's a single click and you're in the game. So look for us to be doing a lot more of this. I intend to run this entire list in a show that we're going to call Treadmill Tuesdays. So drop by here every Tuesday or at gamingtrend.com where you can see all of the fun that we're going to have on the Omni One. I'm Ron Burke, editor-in-chief for gamingtrend.com. Stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.